I'll introduce myself in a while from now, but let me quickly explain about data science and what we train from a bird's eye view. Okay, data science, which is also called as data analytics, right, or business analytics. These names are used interchangeably. This profession is all about analyzing data, and our training is driven using R and Python. So we use equal mix of R and Python because these two are the tools which at least 99% of the job openings demand for. So when you go to Naukri or Monster, or if you go to any other job portal, and if you search for the opportunities in the space of data science, you will find that majority of those job opportunities expect you all to understand R and Python, right? But minuscule level of R and Python is what I would say, because all the code that you have to write is already existing, right? It's already there publicly, so you will not write anything from scratch. You might want to just do a secondary research, you'll get the code, tweak it and use it. Okay, and we will also introduce you all to a tool called as Minitab, which is used by 4,000 plus universities, and 90% of Fortune 100 companies use Minitab. You will also be exposed to a tool called as Excel Miner, which will make your life very easy when it comes to forecasting. You will also learn about another tool called as NodeXL for network analytics, and then you have Tableau. Tableau is a data visualization tool which is a must-know for any data scientist. Alongside all these tools, you will also be given free e-learning for SaaS base worth 25 hours. You will also be given free e-learning for Hadoop for 25 hours, right? And this also includes Spark, which is the latest buzzword within the space of big data. When you process the data using Spark, it is lightning fast. When I say, I mean it. It is 100 times faster than any other tool. So that is what the research has to say. And this is me. I'm an alumnus of IIT Hyderabad and ISB. And these are the bunch of certifications which I possess. All right. And a few of y'all, I think Anil, someone was speaking about Scrum. So there you go. I'm now a certified Scrum practitioner. So I've done my certified Scrum developer certification also. I'm also an associate Tableau certified professional. Those weren't fitting into one slide, so I haven't mentioned those. Okay. I've started off working with HSBC, then I moved to join Indian Tobacco Corporation, then I joined Infosys, and finally I was with Deloitte. Okay, so what do? I am a data scientist. Since long I've been working on building prediction models. Okay, and now the world is experiencing the sudden surge of data, and this profession called data scientist has actually attracted a lot of people. But when data science was not well known, since then I've been into this stream. Okay. And at this point of time, I do a lot of research in analytics, deep learning, and Internet of Things. Deep learning is the next buzzword. I mean, using deep learning, you build artificial intelligence applications. All right. Over the next few minutes, we will understand about why organizations are behind data. Why were they not storing data in the early days? Why are they now storing the data in a big way? Okay, we will understand that. So let's understand a bit. In early days, if you remember, it was all about floppy disks, which would store probably 1.44 MB file or so. And it was so unreliable that you go to internet, download a file, come home, and the file is corrupt, or floppy disk is corrupt. So you will have to go back, purchase another floppy and then redo this. It was a huge task. Now, for probably 1/100th of the size of a floppy disk, you get a micro SD card storage device, right, which can store 512 GB data. From 1.44 MB to 512 GB is a huge leap. And the size, storage capacity has increased and the size has shrinked drastically. People who are into infrastructure support or server support must be aware of this, that this is called as data center, right? Google has data centers which are as big as a football field, right? That is how typically any data center would be. Now, research has gone to an extent where quantum computing has taken over, and there is a human standing here if you observe closely, and you see this quantum computer. So data centers are transformed into quantum computers which are so small. Such a small device can store humongous data with the same processing speed. Think about it for a change, right? And that is why organizations are behind storing data. Capacity has reduced, size has shrunk, and the cost has reduced drastically. Supposedly in 1980s, the cost of 1 GB data was around $1 million, 1 million US dollars. And today when you just look back, it costs you minuscule. It costs you probably peanuts or nothing with storage, right? With Google Drive and with uh, Microsoft giving the cloud services for free for certain storage and all that. It's costing nothing absolutely, AWS and all that, right? Hence, organizations started storing the data in a big way, like never seen before. And what is generating data? If you look at this slide, not just things which are on planet Earth which are generating data, also things which are extraterrestrial are generating data. For example, if you look at Mars rover generates data every second, right? 24/7, it constantly keeps exploring the planet Mars. Data gets transmitted to Earth. That's amazing, right? Each time you swipe your credit card, or each time you use your debit card, or each time you do a net banking transaction, online transaction, data is getting generated. All right, stock market. Let me ask you this question, friends. What do you think is the frequency at which data gets generated on stock market? I mean, almost all the nations nowadays have stock market. What do you think is the frequency at which data gets generated on stock market? Any thoughts? Anyone? So people think that data gets generated every second on stock market. Let me ask you another question. Will it be every second or will it be every millisecond? That's humongous data. Almost all the nations have this data, right? Almost all the nations have stock market. That means this data that you have, which is publicly available for you to analyze, is humongous, right? And the algorithm that you write, or the data science concept that you're going to apply on this data should work every microsecond. Now imagine, right? You should predict what will be the stock value for the next microsecond. So that's how complex the algorithms get basically. Okay. Internet of Things. Internet of Things is all about devices which can be interconnected wirelessly, right? For example, this is called as a smartwatch, right? When you wear this, it is going to capture the data such as your pulse rate, your hours that you were half asleep, hours that you were deep asleep, calories that you have consumed, steps that you have taken, so on and so forth, right? And this data that gets captured on your smart device will get transmitted onto your mobile. mobile application. From mobile application, it gets transmitted onto cloud. So here, instantly your mobile device is one device and your smart watch is another device. So two devices are wirelessly interconnected. If they're wirelessly interconnected, they keep transmitting the data wirelessly 24/7 as long as you wear the watch, right? So two devices constantly 24/7 generates data. Now think about 50 billion such devices being interconnected. This is what research says, that by 2020 there will be 50 billion interconnected devices which will keep transmitting the data relentlessly, right? Continuously. And what do you think is the world's population? Anyone? What do you think is the world's population?
7 billion.
Exactly. It's approximately 7.5 billion, right? That's the range. So for every person on the planet, there will be 7 to 8 interconnected devices. That is going to be the future. Without our knowledge, we will start doing that. Okay. And each time you go to a brick and mortar store, purchase any product, or retail stores, physical retail stores, that's called as brick and mortar, right? So data gets generated, your buying behavior is getting captured. Each time you go to YouTube and watch a video, each time you go to Wikipedia or any social media network, such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, Twitter, data is getting generated. Amazon, you go purchase, data gets captured, right? Netflix, you go and watch a movie, your movie watching behavior gets captured. And WhatsApp, needless to say that, right? We cannot live without WhatsApp. So all these forums are generating data 24/7. Now what happens in 1 minute? There are 500 million tweets every day, 100 million active users. 500 hours of video is getting uploaded every minute. 6,000 items are purchased every minute. And Mark Zuckerberg on one fine day has come on record saying that out of 7 billion population, 1 billion were connected to Facebook. 1 billion people. So 1 in every 7 people was using Facebook at a given point of time. Data gets generated, right? When we log into Facebook, what do? Either you view a video or a post of your friend, or you post a video or an image or some text, data is getting generated, right? Google processes 100 petabytes a day. Now it might have increased tremendously. This is a slightly old number, at least from the Google processing the data perspective. Walmart processes 1 million customer transactions every hour. So every day 24 million customer transactions, and then multiplied with 365 days in a year. That is amount of data, right? 26 million messages every 60 seconds on WhatsApp. Steganography is, hiding the information behind images. So not just things which we see, but things which we do not see are also generating data. This is a very good, advancement in technology from the Middle East. Okay, I hardly see anything from Middle East, but this is from Middle East. And the moment there is an advertisement which is popped up on your mobile, if you click on that, it's going to quickly switch on your camera. It will capture your image and go away. That way, people understand on who are those people who are actually interested in these ads, so that tomorrow when you do a big bang advertisement, you actually target them. Right, that's a amazing thing. And now we will be very soon entering into 5G network. Now just to give you all a sense about what is this 5G network, let me tell you, explain this, okay? So 5G network is round the corner. Already in South Korea, during the recently concluded Winter Olympics, they have used 5G network. They've used 5G network to fly drones and then do the amazing inauguration ceremony, right? AT&T, Verizon, the number 1 and 2 of the world are actually, onto it. And look at this, mobile network speeds. With 4G, you have 1,000 Mbps. That's theoretically the maximum uplink. With 5G network, it will be 10,000. Wow. 4G itself is good, okay, but with 5G it will be amazing. And Japan wants to follow the suit. By Summer Olympics, they are planning to launch this 5G network. And what will be the implication of this 5G network? Okay, let me show you that. If I do not have here, I will open another article. The download speeds that you're going to get will be at least 20 gigabytes per second, at least. Okay, and the response rate, latency rate will be less than 1 millisecond. And it has the ability to connect at least 1 million devices in 1 square kilometer. And 5G network will be able to transfer a full-length, high-resolution film in 2 seconds. It hardly takes 2 seconds to upload things. Right? So that's blink of an eye. You blink an eye and that's it. Blink an eye and that's it. Okay. So that is how powerful, 5G network will be, creating some kind of echo. Okay. Alibaba, they actually celebrate a day called a Singles Day. Singles Day means people are not married, and obviously married people will agree to me that being single is the most happiest part, right? So they celebrate this Singles Day on one fine day. They celebrated this. And on that one day, their sales was worth $25.3 billion on one single day. $25.3 billion. Right? That's amazing. I mean, you can go, you must be working with various organizations. Just look at what is your annual revenue. For most companies, it will be much, much less than $25.3 billion. That means what your organizations are generating as revenue for 1 year is less than what Alibaba generates in 1 day. That means there are a lot of transactions happening. Lot of people purchasing, lot of traffic to your website, lot of traction, lot of data to analyze, right? This is the reason why this profession called data science is taking off. What will organizations do with this data? Right? Okay, I have complete data, but what do I do with that? Now, trust me on this, that the common sense driven business strategies is something which organizations are anyways using. The true differentiator will be when people analyze the data and try to bring about interesting insights from that. Yeah, and a few more things here. Harvard has named data scientist as the sexiest job of 21st century. Needless to say that. Today, it's a fact that world is behind data science because we want to be proactive. We do not want to be reactive. Okay, businesses will need 1 million data scientists by end of 2018. And with the data explosion that's happening, with a number of data sources that are coming up, this will be the world of data scientists basically, right? 40% of companies are struggling to find decent talent. There will be shortage of data scientists in US. McKinsey has to say that by 2018 end, United States alone could face a shortage of 140,000 to 190,000 people. Salaries are skyrocketing. They are going north of $200,000, right? And hunt for unicorn data scientists is just lifting the salaries for all data analytics professionals. And I can also show you one more very interesting bit, because salaries, because majority of the people feel that programming is mandatory. Okay, so really not sure which bit that is, but let me see. Okay, this is what I mean. Forbes, you can rely on it at least. Okay, so this is what they have to say. A new survey finds that rising data science tide lifts the compensation of all other data analytics professionals, even if they don't know how to code. Bear this in mind. Your statistical tools such as R or Python will only help you solve the problem. You have to understand the conceptual theory, and you can use any of the tools to accomplish that. And if you do it the other way around, focus on R and Python and forget about the concepts, then you'll be in for trouble. That means you might not get jobs. Okay, focus should be on the concepts. All right. You might ask me another question on, hey, why are you emphasizing on Python and R? Because these two are the number 1 and number 2 tools now currently in the market. Until 2016, it was R, which was number 1, and then followed by Python. But then things have changed drastically, because Python is very good at dealing with streaming data, social media data. You get data constantly, continuously. Data coming from Internet of Things. You get that streaming data constantly. So if you have that kind of data, Python, is very good at dealing with such data. Otherwise, R is a good bet for you. So if you know the knowledge of working on both R and Python, then you'll become a hot cake in the market. All right. Coming back to our bit, what is it that you learn as part of the training? Okay. First things first, we will explain you right from scratch about statistical analysis. Right? We get right from the basics. Our assumption is that people, whoever are coming to this session, know absolutely anything about data science. Right? So we go to an extent wherein we help you calculate mean or average. How do you calculate this? Right? And what are the drawbacks associated with this? What do you mean by median? Right? We get to that basic ground level. And at the end of each concept, you will be given assignments. Okay, so this is how we work. So after the basic statistical analysis, we move on slowly and steadily to the advanced topics to explain you about the regression techniques. As part of regression techniques, we will explain about linear regression, logistic, Poisson regression, negative binomial, zero inflated model, so on and so forth. And regression techniques are also part of your machine learning. And you do basic predictions, basically, using regression analysis. Once you're done with this, we will move on and understand about data mining supervised learning, which is also called as machine learning. All the machine learning algorithms you'll learn. Then we have data mining unsupervised learning. Within data mining unsupervised learning, you learn about how do I create segments, clusters. If there is huge data given to me, how do I compress that data? Right? Recommendation engine, right? Like Amazon, you search for a product, a few other products show up. How do you build such recommendation engines? Network analytics, right? Then association rules, so on and so forth. You learn about all those concepts. Then all this while you would have worked on structured data. Data which is in a neat tabular format. You get data in an Excel, assume, which has rows and columns, and data is arranged in rows and columns. That's called as structured data. But unfortunately, 80% of the data which is getting generated now is unstructured data. Right? Social media comments, blog posts, right? Speech transcripts, telephone conversations, WhatsApp messages, images that you upload on Instagram, videos that you upload on YouTube. All this is unstructured data. And we will be understanding on how to deal with textual unstructured data. So you will understand about text mining and natural language processing. NLP is a hot cake, by the way, in the market. Then not just unstructured data, you'll also understand about time series data. Say for example, you're working for electricity board. You need to forecast on what will be the demand for the next year, right? When you want to forecast on what will be the demand for the next year, electricity usage demand, then you obviously need to know what was the demand for last year, what was the demand for the year before that, what was the demand for the year before that. In that way, you need historical data, which is sorted based on timestamp. When the data is sorted based on timestamp, then that's called as time series data. When you have such data, you need to resort to forecasting techniques. So forecasting and predictive modeling are not the same. Forecasting and prediction are not the same. Forecasting is usually a term associated with time series data. So you'll understand all these things basically. Also, you will have data visualization using Tableau. Okay, so approximately all these would take 120 plus hours, right? After that, you'll also have equal number of assignments that will be assigned to you. So you'll be given assignments. This is how it works. Theoretically, we will explain a concept, so you'll understand the theory. Plus, in classroom, we will do practicals using one case study, and a similar kind of case study will get to you as part of assignment. You will have to solve it and submit. There will be a person at our end who will be following up with you on submitting the assignments. Once you submit the assignments, they will evaluate your assignments, and they will also let you know on where you have gone wrong and provide the solution as well. Okay. Now, so all the agenda concepts will be explained to you, and the industry says that these four are pivotal for anyone to become successful data scientists. So all the agenda topics are mandatory for you all. Once you understand the theory and once you do practicals in class for one time, then when you start working on assignments, it will give you additional practice, and practice makes you perfect. No doubt about that. And when you do this, after you submit all your assignments, automatically you'll be entitled to work along with us. Along with us meaning along with InnoDataTix on live projects. We will give you opportunity to work alongside our data scientists. Hey, what is this InnoDataTix? Okay, let me show you that. InnoDataTix is the consulting arm of XLR Solutions, and we have launched this 2 years back because we were doing a lot of projects as part of XLR also, but people were perceiving us as more of training company. But the other side of the story was we were doing a lot of projects. So look at this. InnoDataTix rated among 20 most promising data analytics solution providers 2018, right? And what do? We do a lot of projects, right? Take example of financial services insurance. We built a prediction model which will predict on who is that person who will take the loan and not pay back the loan. If I can upfront predict the moment someone submits for loan, right, submits application for applying for loan, instantly we will predict and say on whether that person will default on the loan or not. That will help the banking industry, right? Oh, we have also built a model for a prestigious client. I mean, this is the gold standard client in the banking. We have built a model for insider trading. What is insider trading? An employee who sits with an organization, who works with an organization, who listens to the interesting business strategies and then sells those strategies to the competitors or sells interesting data to competitors, right? That's called as insider trading. So if I sit within XLR Solutions, devise a very good strategy, and then there is a person who is also in that discussion, if that person goes and tries to sell this idea to competitors, then it's a loss for me, right? So can I upfront predict on who is that person who is getting involved in insider trading? Oh yes. So all you need to do is just click on that. You have the problem statement, challenges, solutions, and impact. Okay. Whenever you find free time, you can go explore, because we are there in almost all the industries, all the sectors, and all the domains. Let me give you an example of life sciences healthcare. We built a model which predicts cancer. Hey, why do you want to, be diagnosed for cancer and then start off your treatment? Can I upfront not predict on who are those people who are prone to cancer, right? And then We have also built a model for patients getting readmitted. In US, if a patient gets discharged from a hospital, and then if that patient comes back to the hospital and gets admitted again within 29 days, then there is a penalty which is levied on both the hospital and the physician, because they have not diagnosed properly, they have not treated the patient properly. That is the reason why the patient got readmitted, right? So can I upfront predict on who is that patient who might get readmitted, so that additional precautionary measures might be taken? So you name it, basically we are there in that space. Aviation, predicting or forecasting occupancy percentage. We have done something in the space of cargo management. Automotive, predicting on whether a vehicle is going to break down or not. And we won first place in Project Management Institute National Conference, by the way. Okay, I can also show you that. Let me see.